This series of videos is all about helping someone who is used to a beginner method of solving the Rubik's Cube to move to an intermediate method. Today we're going to be looking at a simplified version of F2L. If you've been using a beginner's method for solving the cube, you probably started with a white cross, then you solved the corners of the first layer, and then you went on to solve the edges of the middle layer. F2L stands for first two layers, and this technique is designed to solve the first two layers immediately after finishing the white cross. With F2L, therefore, you solve both the four corners of the first layer and the four edges of the second layer in one go. If you haven't already looked at a beginner's F2L tutorial, it might be helpful to do so before going any further, to get some more background into it. But you don't have to, as I'll explain all the steps as I go along. If you are familiar with F2L, you will know that there are three main F2L cases. Two of them have the white corner in the top layer with the white sticker facing to the side. The other one has the white sticker facing up. When I started learning F2L, I really struggled to get a momentum going due to the variety of cases and all the complications of each, such as splitting joined corners and edges and bringing pieces up from the middle layer. I kept pausing, trying to decide which pair to tackle next. I was discouraged and almost ready to give up on it. But then I looked more closely at the case with the white sticker facing up, as it seemed to be the most straightforward. I had decided to see what would happen if I just ignored the other two cases, and I discovered that once I focused just on this case, I was soon able to manage F2L fairly quickly with few pauses. I had the momentum that had eluded me, even when faced with complications like the edge or corner not being in the top layer or being joined. I was quickly able to arrive at both pieces in the top layer, separated and ready to join up and insert. In this approach, everything happens intuitively, and there are no algorithms to learn, which makes it perfect for a beginner. I did quite a lot of searching online and couldn't find anybody else who used this simplified approach, so I thought it might be helpful for beginners to get them started with F2L. Now that I'm competent in it, the next step in my journey is to start practicing the other two cases and add them to what I already know. I'll be honest and admit that there are downsides in focusing just on this case. It involves more moves than the other two main cases and is therefore the least efficient to solve. So my F2L times will be longer than they should be. However, I still believe it can be helpful to get beginners started with F2L and may even prevent some people from giving up on F2L altogether. Before I begin the demonstration, let me remind you of the two golden rules of F2L. So we have our solved white cross below, we have our centers lined up, and the first golden rule of F2L is that when you break the cross by moving a side layer, you can only move it up by one turn, like this. Not up here, just one turn. And you must always move it back to restore the cross after doing the turns in the upper layer. That applies to every side. Come up here, do some turns, you must restore it. When you're starting, it can be helpful to keep your hand on that layer until it's back in place, or you might lose track of it. And then there's the golden rule number 2. Avoid bringing a solved slot back into the top layer. Always use an unsolved slot, often referred to as an empty slot, to bring pieces to and from the top layer. So for example, if you wanted to bring this up to here, you wouldn't use that because you're going to end up breaking that slot. You would come around here and move it up that way, so not to interfere with that slot. So before we get into things, please note that I'm not going to give you algorithms, and I'm even going to try and avoid using cube notation like R prime or U or L, because we're learning this through intuition, not algorithms. So I will use terms like up, back, across, away from, etc. Now that you know the two golden rules, the first thing is to learn is how to insert a pair from the upper layer into its slot. So we have this pair with green and red. We want to put it in between the green and the red in that slot. The white sticker is on the right, and so we line it up so that the two center colors are to the left of the white sticker. And then we do a simple 3 move. Bring the left face up, Bring the top layer over towards the corner, and we restore the cross and insert the slot, and everything is fine. Simple. Through once again, left layer up, top layer across, down. And pretty soon you'll be doing this like this. It'll just become immediate into your muscle memory. Now we're going to look at the case where the white sticker is on the left of the pair, and it's the same principle exactly. White sticker's on the left, and therefore you line up the two centers, in this case orange and blue, to the right of that sticker, and this time you bring up the right face, bring the corner over and slot it in. 3 simple moves, okay? So now that you know how to insert a pair, you need to learn how to create a pair. And we do this when we have the white sticker facing up in the top layer, and we have the corresponding edge in the top layer as well, but not joined, so not here, not here. It can be here or here. Okay, when we have that right, what we do is we line up this color with its center, that's on the side face. We then move, we're going to break the cross now by moving that edge away from where it's intended to go. You might think it should go over here, it will ultimately, but right now we move it away from where it's intended to go. We bring the corner back on top of it and we restore the cross. We do one more thing. Imagine you need to pull that white sticker one more turn. So if it's on the right side, you'll be pulling it around here. And then you can see that it's perfectly lined up to the right of the green and the red center colors, ready to be inserted. So now that we've got that inserted, let's try another one. And I can see that we have our corner here with orange and green, and we have our edge in the right place. We bring that edge over so it's in line. We move it away from the corner we want it to go into. We slide the top corner over it. We restore the cross. We pull it this way, pull that white over one more. Now you can see that it's perfectly set up to slot in the right place. Now I've shown you the most straightforward case, and they won't always be like that. There are some complications. So to help you deal with the less straightforward cases, I've come up with 3 simple phrases to guide you through each pair. And they are white on top, split or twist, pair and insert. You already know how to pair and insert, so let's have a look at white on top. White on top simply means that the white face of the corner sticker needs to be in the top layer facing up. If this is already the case, then you can ignore this step. Let's look at this example. The white is on the side. We want to get it to the top. So we simply move it to the top, move it to safety, and restore the cross. Now we have our white on top. You might say to yourself, there's another one. Should I move that on top? Not yet. You want to solve this one first, and then that could be in a different place altogether. Here's the same thing from the right hand side. We want to get that white up, make sure this isn't a solved slot, move it up, away to safety, move it back, and your cross is intact. If the white piece is down here, it's the same principle. We move it up, but instead of going this way, we go this way to safety. Because if we went just one turn this way, we'd be bringing it to the side. You could do 2 turns, but it's more efficient to just do 1 turn. Away and restore the cross. Here's the same case from the right side. We bring it up, move it away to safety, restore the cross. And now it's in the top layer, white sticker facing up. Now, what do we do if there isn't a white sticker conveniently located at the top or in this layer or even in this layer? What if it's underneath? Well, in that case, we have to do it in 2 steps. We bring it up, move to safety, restore the cross, bring it back to our slot, bring it up, move to safety, restore the cross. So it's simply 2 steps. Let's try that again from the left. Our piece is on the bottom. Bring it up, move it to safety, restore the cross, bring it back over the slot. Move it up, bring it to safety, restore the cross, and everything's okay. There it is. Here's something to watch out for when you're bringing a white to the top. In this case, when you bring the white to the top, we move it to safety, and we actually have that edge that we want to keep on the top sitting there. So it needs a second turn before we restore the cross. If you don't do that second turn, then you're going to be bringing that edge down to the center, and you'll have to bring it up again later on. So just one thing to watch out for. Here's that case from the left-hand side. Again, we bring up our edge. We notice that that's the edge we want to keep, so we do another turn and bring it back. So we now have our edge and our corner piece in the top layer ready to pair and insert. So that's the white on top. Once the white face of the corner sticker is in the top layer and facing up, then the split or twist steps can come into play, because there can be one of two potential complications. The first complication is where the corner is incorrectly joined to its corresponding edge, and they need to be split apart in such a way that they are both still in the top layer. This is very common when you're bringing up a white edge to the top layer, and you will get used to it quickly. So in this example, let's move the joined pieces to the back of the cube so we can make sure we're not going to interfere with the solved slot. And all we simply do, move that corner down, move that edge over either there or there, one turn is sufficient, and then bring it up. And now they're separated and ready to pair and insert. Let's look at that from another angle. On the right hand side, this slot is empty, so we can push down the corner, move the edge to safety, and push it up. And they're nicely separated. So here's another case on the left again. You can see we move it to the back, only this time we have a solved slot. So we'll need to bring it around like this so that we're not using a solved slot. Now, here's an example of where the join happens as you bring a white to the top. So I'm moving this up and you see the join. I have to move them both to safety. Then I bring them back once, and now I can simply do it again. Because this happens so often, you'll get used to it very quickly, and you'll be able to bring the white up and split them in one fluid movement. So here's a case that used to give me problems, and that's where you want to move this white up, but its corresponding edge is joined to it. Now you might think I could get around that by moving it somewhere else, but maybe, and quite often, this is actually the last slot to be solved, so I have to use it. So I bring it up, I move to the right, I move to safety. And then I'm wondering, how can I split that? If that's a solved slot, I can't do that. Do I bring it back here? No, that's not right. The solution is to move it over one more, and then using the same slot, approach it from this angle and separate it. The second complication is when the edge corresponding to your corner piece is in the middle layer. So we have our white facing up, we can't find the edge in the top layer, and there it is in the middle layer. And what you need to do is twist. Twist the upper layer until the corner is directly above the corresponding edge piece. Bring it around to the front, to the right hand side. In this case, we have a nice neat pair, and we simply bring it up to the top, restore the cross, and we have a pair ready to insert. But we need to line it up correctly. Because we've blue and red, we need to have blue and red to the left of this white sticker. And there we go. We simply insert in the usual way. Here's another case. We have the orange and green corner with the white facing up, but we can't find the orange and green edge piece in the top layer. And there it is in the middle layer. So we twist until it's above it, bring it around to the right side, front, and in this case, it is not pairing up. So what we need to do is move the top layer one turn to the left to make space to bring up the edge into the top layer, move it to safety, and restore the cross. And now we have them separated, and we can just insert them as normal. So now you know all the moves to do to complete F2L with this simplified method. So it's time to do some sample solves. I've got my white cross, I flip over the cube, join up the edges, and I'm ready to start. And straight away I can see I have a white on top. So I'm going to look for the orange and blue edge. And it's actually sitting on top. So I'm going to simply move it to the left, bring it up and down, find my blue. I know that's an orange, so it's not going to the orange corner, it's coming here. Bring it on top, bring it back up to restore the cross, pull that sticker over one more, and then I should be set up for my insert. Now I'm looking for the next pair, and I can see one straight away. So I'm looking for green and orange, and it's not on the top layer either. So it should be here somewhere. There it is. In this case, it's a nice pair. I simply bring it up, restore the cross. Then I need to find it. So I want orange and green to be the left. There's the green, there's the orange, and I insert it. Now this one's just jumping at me. However, I don't want to break that pair, so I'm going to move it over one more. And this is actually a nice case because I can see exactly where the edge is. Although it's joined, it's going to naturally separate as I bring up the white to safety. And there we go, the cross is fine. And now I've got my blue, I'm quite close to it there. I bring it over here, bring the edge on top, pull it one more over. 3 down and 1 to go. Now, in this case, it's at the very bottom. I'm going to bring it up in the 2 steps. Now in this case it's come up and it's joined, so I bring it back and I split it this way. Then I've got my green there. I know that's 2 turns away from the blue, so I can do that quickly. Move it away from the red, bring it over, one more, line it up. That's it. All 4 moves done and ready to go on to OLL. Here's my second sample solve. Got my cross, center's lined up. I turn it over and straight away I see my first pair, which is going to be green and red. So I'm going to bring it up at the top, then go looking for the edge piece. I don't see it here, 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 here. It must be underneath. In this case it is, but it's not joined up nicely. Move that out of the way, bring it up, restore the cross. I'm nicely set up here. And insert. I'm seeing a glimmer of white over here, so I'm going to come around here and I'm looking for blue and red. I bring it up, it comes up to a join, which is okay. Bring it back, split it up, have my pair separated. It's nicely in line by coincidence. I know I can move it away and insert. I see another one. That's fine, that slot is not solved, so I can just go straight up to the right and down. Again, I'm looking for, there it is, it's joined. And because that slot there is not solved, I can split it from where I am. Blue is 2 turns away from green. Move it away from the orange. Bring it back and insert. 1 left. Okay, I have a white on top and there's my edge piece. So focus on the edge piece, get it into position. Corner piece on top, restore the cross, slide it over one more and insert. All 4 done. Okay, so here's another sample solve. Straight away we've got a white on top, green and red, and there is the edge piece. So we line it up one more and put it in. Now white over here, bring it up, we're looking for the edge piece. Good trick is as you're bringing it up, start to be looking around for its corresponding edge, and it's sitting here and that makes a nice pair. So we bring it up, then we have to make sure, because it's blue and orange, we have blue and orange to the left of it, and there it is, and in it goes. I see another white, I'm straight over, bringing it up, looking for the red and blue edge, I know this is orange, so red must be over there. I'm going away from the blue over to the green. Bring the top across, one more twist, line it up, and in it goes. Okay, I see another glimmer of white. Have to do it twice this time because I don't want to bring that edge down. And line it up towards the red instead of the orange. And there we go. And that's it, all 4 solved. So let's try another one. We have a white cross, we have our edges aligned, we turn it over, and straight away we see a pair that doesn't need much work. It just needs to be brought over here so that we have orange and blue to the right of the white sticker, and in it goes. I see another one. I need to find its matching edge, and I'm looking for green and red. There it is. Now I'm going to show you something. Instead of bringing it all the way around here and doing this, I'm going to put it in from the back. And this is something you can learn when you got familiar with the normal way. So instead of coming up like this, we just do the reverse. So we bring it up towards me, bring that across, and that's down. See how that worked? Here we have our red and blue. I see it's going to join, but that doesn't bother me because I can split it very easily. Again, I'm going to do insert into the back. Now I'm seeing this one and they're joined. So I need to split them, and I have to get it over an unsolved slot, and that should split up nicely. I know that's 2 turns back to here, down, up, and in. And that's all 4 solved. Okay, let's go again. White cross, centers aligned, and I see these 2 straight away, and they will split nicely. Remember, instead of coming back, you have to do 2, so not to bring that back down. That's a red, it's going over here. I'm not bringing it towards the corner, I'm going away. And in it goes. I'm seeing that one, which is red and green. So where is the edge? It's down here. Bring it on top. It doesn't match. Move it over. Bring it up. And you see the way you get into rhythm? Again, I'm putting it in the back slot that time. So try and practice that if you can. My next one, I'm looking for green and orange. There it is, already in place. So that's going to be a quick one. Now, these 2 need to be split. I need to have an unsolved slot behind them. And there's the last one. And in it goes. Okay, here's another sample solve. Again, this can come up quickly, whereas I'm not quite sure what's going on with that one yet. So I'm just going to go up. I'm looking for the orange and green, and I'm seeing it here in the bottom layer. It doesn't match up. Out of the way. And in. Red and blue. Staring in front of me, over the orange. And in the slot. Next one. Blue and orange. There it is. And in. Now, I just have to bring them up twice and then attack it from this angle to split them. And that's it, all 4. Okay, another solve, and this time I'll do it more quickly, and hopefully you can follow what's going on as I do it. Done. One more solve, and we're off. Okay, for this solve, I'm going to do it without commentary, but reasonably slowly, one move at a time, so you can see what I'm doing. And here we go. And so with this solve, I'm going to do it reasonably slowly. See if you can anticipate what my moves are going to be as I do them. Another sample solve, again I'll do it slowly and try and anticipate what I'm going to do before I do it. And here's another one. And done. So for this next solve, I'm going to call out phrases like white on top, split or twist, pair and insert. Let's go. White on top. Twist. Pair and insert. Twist. Pair. Insert. White on top. Twist. Pair and insert. White on top. Pair and insert. Another one. White on top. Split. Pair and insert. Twist. Pair and insert. white on top, split, pair and insert. White on top, pair and insert. So now it's over to you. Get your cube, scramble it up, make your white cross, and then start making some F2L pairs. Watch out for a follow-up video, which will give you some more tips and tricks in order to make things faster and reduce your solve times. Good luck!